Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Welcome to Latvenergo Investor Conference webinar about financial results of year 2016. Today we are hosted by Latvenergo Chief Financial Officer, Guntars Baļčūns. Before I give the floor to Mr. Baļčūns, a short reminder about the agenda of the webinar. Firstly, we will have a presentation about Latvenergo Group activities and financials of year 2016. Afterwards, we will proceed with the questions and answers session. If you would also like to use this unique opportunity to ask a question directly to the CFO of Latvenergo, please use the question box on the right-hand side of your screen. All questions will be addressed after the presentation. Mr. Baļčūns, I invite you to start the presentation.
Thank you, Eva. Good afternoon, investors and stakeholders. It is my pleasure to welcome you to Latvenergo webinar. During the webinar, I would like to introduce you with Latvenergo Group unaudited financial results of year 2016. As usually, I will start the presentation with a short introduction of the Latvenergo Group. Latvenergo Group is a vertically integrated utility that operates in all three Baltic countries. Latvenergo is wholly owned by Republic of Latvia. Latvenergo credit rating is Baa2 with stable outlook. Latvenergo key generation assets are combined heat and power plants and hydropower plants. In slide you can see also installed capacity. And as well we are owners of transmission and distribution assets. Latvenergo is the largest electricity supplier in the Baltics with approximately 30% of market share. Now, before turning to more detailed overview of our financial results, let me first highlight some of the key market factors and events that have affected our business performance. Year 2016 was marked in the Baltic electricity market by stronger integration of the Baltics and Nordic regions. Two new interconnection projects, Nordbalt with capacity of 700 megawatts and Litpool with 500 megawatts were launched. The launch of interconnections resulted in convergence of electricity spot price between bidding areas. As a result of that, electricity spot price in Latvia and Lithuania has decreased. The average spot price in Latvia decreased by 40% and reached 36.1 euro per megawatt hour, while in Lithuania the price decreased by 13%. At the same time, the average spot price in Estonia and Nordics has increased. In Estonia bidding areas, the spot price rose by 6%, and in Finland by 9%. The electricity price increase in Estonia, Finland, and also in Sweden was mainly influenced by such factors as colder weather condition. At the beginning of 2016, repair works of power plants and transmission infrastructure, mainly in summer months, and lower level of hydropower generation in Scandinavia. Additional factor that has influenced the decrease in electricity price in Latvia and also in Lithuania was decline of natural gas price. Natural gas price in Latvia is linked to oil product price. Due to the downtrend in oil prices, the average natural gas price dropped by 24% comparing to last year. And in 2016, average natural gas price was 23 euros per megawatt hour. And lower natural gas price increased the competitiveness of Riga CHPs and also facilitated higher electricity output and also helped to stabilize electricity price in the region. Now we move to slide number 7, and there we will look at the summary of Latvenergo Group financial results. Overall, our revenues have not changed compared to last year, and group revenues in last year was 931.6 billion euros, while Latvenergo Group EBITDA has increased by 28%, reaching 393 million euros. Certainly, the 2016 was a good year for us, and it is due to several reasons. The results were positively impacted by higher electricity output at Daugavas hydropower plants, as well by lower natural gas and electricity prices. Natural gas price was by 24% lower, while electricity price in Latvia was by 40% lower than last year. Now let's take a closer look at the performance of each operating segment separately, and I will start with generation and trade. Generation and trade is the largest segment. That makes 57% of group EBITDA. Similarly to Latvenergo Group results, generation and trade segment results were positively impacted by increased hydro generation, lower prices of natural gas and electricity. Overall amount of electricity generated has increased by 21% and reached 4.7 terawatt hours. From that, almost 2.5 terawatt hours has been generated in Daugavas hydropower plants. That is increased by 36%, and 2.2 terawatt hours has been generated in Riga CHPs, and that is increased by 9%. The increase in generated electricity in Riga CHPs was mainly driven by positive market conditions, and here I already mentioned that the gas price was lower, and due to that, Riga CHPs also limited the electricity price increase risk in the region. In 2016, the amount of electricity supplied has slightly decreased due to intensified competition, and mainly this competition increase is based on price competition. Nevertheless, Latvenergo Group has maintained the leading electricity supplier position in the Baltics, with approximately 30% of retail market share and almost 1/3 of electricity is supplied to customers in Lithuania and Estonia. Latvenergo supplies electricity to customers in all 3 Baltic countries under trade brand Electrum, and Electrum product range consists of a variety of electricity products, and these products are tailored to different consumption volumes and customer habits, thus allowing to choose most appropriate product for each customer. Additionally, in this slide, I would like to emphasize that in the February, Public Utility Commission approved the new mandatory public service obligation fee, and also from the 1st April 2017, it will remain at the previous level, 2.67 euro cents per kilowatt hour. There is no change in public service obligation fee already for 4 years in a row. Respectively, it has not changed since 2013. And to limit the increase of mandatory procurement fee, the state grant in the amount of 62.9 million euros is expected in 2017. And Latvenergo dividends are the main financing source for limiting the increase of mandatory procurement fee. And according to the state budget, in 2017, it is expected that dividends in amount of 90.1 million euros will be distributed. Next slide is on distribution segment. Distribution segment is second largest segment, and it makes 27% of group's EBITDA. It is represented by Sadals Tīkls, which is a distribution system operator in Latvia. In 2016, revenues of this distribution segment increased by 8% and reached 308 million euros, and EBIT increased by 29%, reaching 105.5 million euros. Positive impact on the results was due to increased distribution service revenues, and as well electricity distributed to customers has increased by 3% comparing to the last year. In 2016, revaluation of distribution assets was accomplished. Revaluation of assets is done once in 5 years, and due to revaluations, the value of distribution assets has increased. Thus, also the value of the segment assets and the value of Latvenergo Group assets has increased in year 2016. Additionally, I would like to remind that starting from the 1st August 2016, the changes in electricity distribution system service tariffs came into force. The new balanced tariffs foresee introduction of a fixed fee to all customers, but at the same time there is a decrease in variable component, and due to the decrease in variable component, there are also a large part of customers whose electricity bills will remain unchanged or even decrease. We as a company believe that the new balanced tariff model would motivate the customers also to optimize power connections and would allow us to optimize distribution network. In 2016, investments in distribution asset segment reached 106 million euros. Here I must mention that since 2012, our power supply safety ratios, such as SAIDI and SAIFI, that shows average interruption duration and average interruption frequency, has improved, and both ratios has improved by substantial percentage points, 55% and 35%. Investments in modernization of networks are scheduled also for the following years in order to further increase the safety and quality of network services and minimize the risks of network disorder caused by severe weather conditions. Additionally, I want to mention that one of the investment program is investment in smart meters, and at the end of 2016, Sadals tīkls has installed 280,000 smart meters that correspond to approximately 25% of all meters, and these smart meters accounts for 67% of electricity distributed in Latvia. Now I would like to turn to third operating segment, transmission assets. Transmission assets makes 12% of group EBITDA. It is represented by Latvijas elektriskie tīkli. The company owns transmission system assets and leases these assets to Augsprieguma tīkls, which is independent transmission system operator in Latvia. In terms of financial performance, revenues and EBITDA increased year on year, and it is mainly driven by gradual increase of regulatory asset base into the lease for Augsprieguma tīkls. As well, we have revalued the value of transmission assets, and as a result of that, there is increase of 18.7 million euros, and investments in transmission assets were 26 million euros. Now I would like to turn to overview of investment figures. Our investment level remained stable with gross investments of approximately 200 million euros. In 2016, majority or 64% of our capex were invested in distribution and transmission assets. At the moment, we have 3 major investment projects: Daugavas hydropower plant power unit reconstruction program, Kurzemes ring, and interconnection between Estonia and Latvia. Daugavas hydropower unit reconstruction program is aimed to reconstruct 11 hydropower units by 2022. In 2016, we have invested in reconstruction 35.2 million euros, and the total investments in this project has reached 86.7 million euros. Second project is Kurzemes ring. Kurzemes ring is aimed at increasing power safety in Kurzemes region. The project is also important to enable the use of Latvian-Lithuanian-Sweden interconnection northbound. At the moment, first and second stage of the Kurzemes ring project is completed. However, third stage of the project, Ventspils–Tume Riga, is expected to be finalized by 2019. The total investments in projects has reached almost 100 million euros, and this project is co-financed by EU. Third project is electricity transmission interconnection between Estonia and Latvia, which aimed at increasing transmission capacity between these two countries. Total project costs in Latvia are estimated approximately 100 million euros. The project is scheduled for completion by the end of 2020. The project is also co-funded by EU, covering 65% of construction costs. And last year in June, the environmental impact assessment stage of the project was completed, and the development of preliminary route project is also completed. Now turning to funding part on slide 12, you can see that Latvenergo Group has quite balanced debt repayment schedule. The first repayment of bonds in amount of 70 million euros is expected at the end of 2017. Total borrowings at the end of 2016 were 791.6 million euros. Last year in April, we completed our second bond offering program of 100 million euros, and we issued green bonds in April in the amount of 25 million euros. And currently total amount of issued bond constitutes 205 million euros, which is 26% of all borrowings. Then we have one good news. In January 2017, Nasdaq announced the winners of Baltic Market Award 2016, in which for the first time Baltic bond issuers were honored for excellence in investor relations. We are particularly proud of receiving the award for the best investor relations in Baltics among bond issuers. I must also note that in February 2017, Moody's has reconfirmed the credit rating of Latvenergo, and it remained Baa2 with stable outlook. And therefore, from credit rating perspective, we are definitely stable and safe borrower. In 2016 as well, all financial covenants set in Latvenergo loan agreements are met, and we have also liquidity reserves in sufficient amount to implement planned investment program and to fulfill commitments according to the debt repayment schedule. To have a better view on Latvenergo results of 2016, let us see how Latvenergo Group has performed within 5 years perspective. During the last 5 years, we have managed to improve our financial results. Latvenergo Group EBIT has increased to 393 million euros. That is increased by 61%. Net profit has grown to 130 million euros. However, decrease in revenues is largely attributed to the change in accounting principles, along with entrance into operation of Enerģijas publiskais tirgotājs from the 1st April 2014. Overall, we have managed to improve financial results and also profitability ratios. In slide, you can see how EBITDA margin and return on equity has changed during last 5 years. As well, we have managed to improve our capital structure ratios. Net debt equity ratio has improved from 30% 30% in 2012 to 25% in 2016. So we have really strong capital structure. Now let's turn to current issues. And under the current issue, we have information about Supervisory Board of Latvenergo. On 16 December, the shareholders meeting of Latvenergo elected Supervisory Board of Latvenergo, and the Supervisory Board consists of 5 independent and professional members: Andris Ozoliņš, who is also the chairman of the board, Andris Liepiņš, Baiba Anda Rubesa, Mārtiņš Bičevskis, and Martin Sedratsky. The Supervisory Board is appointed for 5 years term. Main duties of Supervisory Board is to represent shareholders' interests between shareholders' meetings, and also to supervise the work of Management Board. Previously, these functions were performed by shareholders' meeting. Establishment of the Supervisory Board will further align corporate governance of Latvenergo Group with the best practice, taking into account professional experience and variety of competencies of Supervisory Board. We believe it is definitely good news for Latvenergo. Additionally to that, establishment of Supervisory Board also implied the change in structure of the Audit Committee. According to the requirements of Financial Instrument Market Law, Supervisory Board shall be represented with Audit Committee. To comply with the requirements, on 3rd March, the shareholders meeting of Latvenergo elected in Audit Committee 2 Supervisory Board members, Andris Ozoliņš and Andris Liepiņš, and also re-elected the former members of Audit Committee, Torben Pedersen, Marits Salgrāva, and Svens Dinsdorf. All members are elected for 3 years term. Main duties of Audit Committee is to revise preparation of Latvenergo Group financial reports. And the regulation of both Supervisory Board and Audit Committee are available on Latvenergo website under section Investors. So before we start with question and answer session, let me summarize the main points of the presentation. So at the end of Latvenergo Group financial results have improved. Latvenergo Group EBITDA reached 393 million euros. That is increased by 28%. EBITDA was positively impacted by higher electricity output at Daugavas hydropower plants, lower electricity price, and substantial lower natural gas price. As well, Latvenergo Group results within 5 years perspective shows good tendencies, and therefore we can say that we have managed to improve our financial position. Additionally, I would like to emphasize that mandatory procurement component from 1st April 2017 will remain at the same level, and there is no changes in component already for 4 years in a row. So I have completed the presentation and I am ready to answer the questions. Eva?
Mr. Baļčūns, thank you for the presentation. And regarding best investor relations, congratulations once more. Now I will proceed with the questions in the order they were received. A reminder to those who haven't yet submitted their questions, you can do it in the questions section in the settings panel zone. The first question: how open electricity energy market and large players interested in the market like Lattelecom with TAT will affect Latvenergo and strategy changes? Diversification, perhaps?
Yes, thank you for the question. It will definitely intensify the competition in electricity market. From that perspective, it is good news for customers, and it will definitely contribute to the development of additional services within the industry. Thus, also we as a company will continue to develop our product range and work on customer services. As well, we will continue to create additional services to customers. Among them, I could mention Electrum Insured, that was launched at the beginning of this year. Additionally to that, I would like to mention that in the Latvenergo Group strategy, we have set ambition to look for opportunities for product and service expansion, and also potentially geographic expansion. So these are the things that most likely will change during following years. Thank you.
Thank you. In the strategy 2013 until 2016, you had, quoting, diversification of electricity generation sources. Have you actually managed to do this?
Thank you for the question. Yes, in strategy we aim to diversify our energy sources, and in regards to that, we completed the reconstruction of Riga CHP power plant, and second decision that was taken during the previous strategy period was on reconstruction program of Daugavas hydropower plants, and at the moment the reconstruction program is going on, and it will continue till 2022. Therefore, under this strategic objective, we have worked on these two issues. Thank you.
The next question: as Latvenergo has invested a substantial part in environment-friendly projects, does this mean that all of the capital raised from the green bonds has been invested? And if so, any new issues planned?
Yes, thank you for the question. Yes, that is the case. So all investments raised by green bond program is invested in green projects, and we will provide investors with detailed information in our sustainability report regarding the projects in which the financing was invested. And however, regarding new issues, it remains as one of the alternative sources for attracting financing, and we will look further the possibilities to attract financing by making new issues, definitely. Thank you.
The next question: Oil prices have gone up somewhat in 2017 comparing to 2016. That implies an increase in natural gas prices in the near future. What consequences will this fact have on Latvenergo? Will the revenues go up but EBITDA go down? What this person means, Latvenergo's CHP will become less attractive in the region because of higher costs.
Yes, thank you for the question. Yes, that is the case, that the natural gas price is linked to the crude oil product price. I would say that last year was really good from that perspective, and such a low gas price as the last year we haven't seen, I don't know, for more than 10 years. Therefore, last year was unexpectedly positive from that perspective. Definitely, we already see that the gas price in 2017, in the last first 3 months, has a slight increase, but this slight increase is not very huge. Therefore, we still believe that our CHP plants will be competitive in the market.
Thank you. And currently the last question. How will the opening of the Latvian gas market affect the operations of Latvenergo? Is the alternative of Lithuanian natural gas worthwhile for the company? Will the market opening provide the potential for lower input costs?
Thank you for the question. Yes, entering into the gas market is one of the steps that we have included in our strategy. At the moment, we are assessing advantages of entering into the market, and in case we would see that the regulatory market will be favorable, we will definitely go also in the gas market, and also look for opportunities to be in gas market not only in Latvia but in other Baltic countries. Thank you for the question.
All questions are answered. Oh, sorry. Now, could Latvenergo pursue ventures in the field of telecommunications again to get back at Latelkom?
Thank you for the question. It is a good idea. Probably we will think about that, but at the moment it has not been seriously discussed. Thank you for the question.
Okay, currently that's all. And the recording of the webinar will be available in the Nasdaq Baltic YouTube channel and in company's announcements. Mr. Baļčūns, thank you for the presentation and for answers given. Participants, thank you for joining and see you next time.
Thank you and goodbye.